All righty, we are live. Welcome in, everybody, to another non-sports night edition. Because there's still no sports to talk about. Although there was a little bit that we probably could have talked about. But Disney has trumped that news this week with several really big news stories. Right, Steve?
Absolutely.
Yep. So we're going to really focus on that tonight. And we're going to have a good time with it. We've got three different things we're going to focus on tonight. And thank you to everybody who's here. First, let's do some quick mousekeeping. Of course, Dean over at The Live Place, theliveplace.com. Family-friendly streams throughout the week, Monday through Sunday. If you're looking for a streamer and you're not sure who's live or who's not, go over there. They're the TV guide of streams. It's like 90 different ones over there, right, Steve? Or is he over 100 now?
There was some cleanup, so he's around 85 to 90, somewhere in there.
Okay, good. But it's still a ton. So plenty of people to find family-friendly streams, Disney and non-Disney as well. So be sure to check him out. Of course, our two partner channels. One of them is right here. This guy, Monday nights with just another Monday night. Steve's World. He also goes live on Wednesday with Disney Crew. Don't forget about that. And, of course, Disney Dan, who just probably finished up or might be finishing up with Disney Fiasco on Saturday. Great channels, both of them. Steve, before we get into this, you got anything coming up on your channel? What's coming up? What's going on?
I know I've said this a couple times, but I am finally at a place where I think I can focus on my channel again. So, I mean, I've been doing my lives. I've not been abandoning it by any means, but I can really focus on some blogs and things like that, bringing pretty good content, hopefully. So, and I got things right in my house, in my studio, the way I need them. So I think I'm almost there. I hope so.
Good. That's great. Glad to hear it. And thank you again for being here, buddy. Hope you're having a great week.
I am having a fantastic week, and I am honored that you let me be here every week. So
the honor's mine, man. I'm glad you're here too.
And of course, I know you're going to mention it later, but to all the ladies tomorrow, happy Mother's Day.
Absolutely. 110%. The moms out there, enjoy your day tomorrow. Take the day off. Relax. Have a great day. It's your day. You should have more than one day, but it's your day.
Also, and I say this at Father's Day too, to all the single dads out there, happy Mother's Day too, for being a mother and a father to a child. So
absolutely, I agree. And all the single moms out there, just enjoy your day tomorrow. It's well deserved.
Absolutely.
Sure. I'm sure I can speak for Steve when it comes to his mom. I'm sure he's blessed to have the mother he has. I'm blessed to have the mother I have. And I'm incredibly blessed to have the wife I have to be the mother she is to my children. So
you had to say that last part. No, I'm just kidding.
I did, but I meant that one. I always kid with Melissa. I always kid with her on the street, but I'm the lucky one for sure. Trust me. So is she. Never mind. Let's say hi to everybody in the chats. Tim Pruitt's in here. Good to see you, Tim. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Donna Jaworski's in the house, one of our members. Donna, good to see you, dear. Hope you're doing well. Donna was out earlier with Samantha. Samantha posted on Instagram. They were out riding around Disney. Hope you guys had fun. Captain Akron 27 is here. James Ryan, another one of our members. James, good to see you, buddy. Alex Brenner's in the house. Alec, good to see you. Alex, good to see you. Candy Mom, Cynthia, Candy Mom 15, our first member ever.
Nice.
Good to see you, Cynthia. Hope you're doing well. And remiss would I be if I ever missed a chance to say hello to the wonderful Donna. James, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. And he's right. She is wonderful. G. Wilson's in the house. Wilson, welcome in. Bill Steffen from Kentucky's here. Good to see you, Bill. Hope you're doing well, buddy. There's Samantha Lowe. She was out earlier today. That was fun, actually. We had a good time with that. Avery, the Cuban American, is in the house. And I think we're caught up, Steve. Let's take a look. Nope, there's Mike Wheeler. Mike Wheeler's here. Good to see you, Mike. Christina Hickman's here. Christine Hickman. Christine, good to see you. Ron and Meredith, the Philly crew are here. Big Noah Mountain 5 is here. Wendy Luhu is here. These people must be coming over from Dan. Good to see everybody. Hope you're all doing well. And tonight we're going to do kind of a tale of two Disney worlds. We have Shanghai Disney World with some news. We have some Walt Disney World with some news and some Disney Springs news. And we're going to kind of talk about all of them. We have the great, the good, and the bad. I'm calling it the bad. Steve's been more positive. He's less bad.
Yeah.
I'm being more of the negative for sure. Avery says, fun fact, since I know you're going to talk about Shanghai, a lot of people don't know this, but Shanghai has Mine Train, just like Magic Kingdom. It's not a ride exclusive to Magic Kingdom. I don't know if I did know that. Steve, did you know that?
I think I heard it I don't remember if they got it first or we did. I thought I heard there was a copy. I thought I heard ours was a copy of somebody else's.
I didn't know they had. I didn't know they had a Mind Train. That's pretty neat. I didn't.
I
didn't know it. That's pretty cool. Viacree Project is here. Ed and Mindy, good to see you guys. AGC Magic TV. Jonathan Chung. Wow, got a lot of people here. Good to see you guys. K-At was in the house. Good to see you, Kay. MC Dorks Pop, welcome in. Disney Dan sent us. Thank you for being here. There's Gonzo. Gonzo's going live later on tonight.
What's up, Gonzo?
Well. He's going live at 11 with YouTubers United. Be sure to check his show out. And is Shep going live at 9:30?
Yep.
He is. Okay. And Shep's at 9:30. Be sure to check both of them out. I think we are caught up, Steve. Mike says we had it first with Seven Dwarfs, but they use the same kind of trains on the track like it, but it's named different. Okay. Interesting. So, Steve, let's start with we'll start with the great. Let's start with the great, and then we'll go to the bad, and then we'll go to the good. I don't want to end with the bad. I consider it the bad. But the great news is, of course, May 11th, Shanghai Disney is reopening their doors. Obviously, it's going to be a limited capacity. They're going to have social distancing. They have a lot in place already, and I hope that you guys have seen this video. I'm not going to show the whole video. It's only about 3.5 minutes. I'm not going to show the whole video, but I will show it, but Steve and I are going to kind of talk over it a little bit. It's the kind of tutorial that Shanghai is showing of how they're going to be implementing their social distancing. And I personally think this is a great video from what I've seen so far. It really kind of breaks down how this process is happening. And Steve, I'm sure you'll agree, this is something that Disney World and Disneyland are going to take a cue from and see how well it works. Absolutely.
And a lot of it has been rumored to be happening at Disney World anyways, but it's neat to see how they're doing it.
Yeah, I agree. Mr. Fulton Mraz, welcome in. He said, well, Mouse Talk, I am in America's Got Talent for season 15 of 2020 this year, and my act is singing in the show. Wow, congratulations. That's fantastic news. Good for you. Emily, LSU mom, is here. Emily, good to see you, dear. Hope you're doing well. All right, Steve, I'm going to share my screen. We're going to show this to everybody, and we'll kind of talk about it as we see it. Hopefully this will work for everyone. So I'm not going to show any sound, but I do want to let you guys see this. It's going to be dubbed. If you'll see it, the dubbing is a little bit hard to see, but I think ultimately you can. But I like the fact, from what I saw, Steve, I like the fact that they are showing this to people, giving them an idea of how they do it. Now, me personally, I don't know that all of this is going to happen in the U.S. Like the QR code thing here that they have to do, which is kind of their clean bill of health. What do you think? I don't know. You think we'll go that far? Hey, Rob.
What's up, Rob? So I think a couple things here. I think you got to remember that Disney World and Disneyland don't operate the same way. To me, this is more like Disneyland. And I think I could see them doing it, but I think they will adopt the same principles. I personally don't have a problem with what they're doing, but we'll see how it goes. And we talked about this portion right here too. We're not sure that the United States would force their guests to wear masks in the parks.
Right. Now, Shanghai, just like Tokyo Disney, is owned by the government. Disney has a stake in it, but the government makes the decision. Now, I find this part to be very interesting. If you notice on the ground, they've really, and this part too. Yeah. We'll explain this part in a minute. Steve, what are they doing here?
Right now, they're going through a temperature check.
Yep. They're checking your temperature, which is something
through thermal technology.
Yes. And I think they're going to do this in the U.S. I really do.
I think they should. And I know you had your reservations too, because not everybody will have symptoms that has it, but at least it's a measure of some small extra way to catch some people that may have a temperature that are trying to still go to Disney.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with the temperature checks. Again, it won't catch everything, but it's just one more added measure to help stop that.
It's another layer of safety. I agree 100%. But like you can see, what's coming up next is how they're going to seat you on the rides. This is, I think, very interesting as well. As you can see, he's telling everybody where they need to stand to make sure that they're in the right place. But notice the rides, guys. Everybody in the chat as well. Notice the rides. They're every other row, and there's a seat in between parties, which again is Steve and I agree. We looked at this a little bit earlier. We thought that was very smart. Agreed?
Absolutely. So, and then the ones like they're saying right now with smaller vehicles will have you can only put one party in each vehicle. The others will have to go away. And you saw the hand sanitizer that's going to be available
this is interesting
after every single attraction.
I'm going to pause this for a minute because it's kind of moving quick.
Yeah, it is.
They just showed the characters. There are going to be character experiences, but they're not going to be meet and greet to start. What's going to happen is the characters are going to be distanced from you, and they'll wave to you. Now, what I've also heard for face characters, Tim Pruitt, welcome in, buddy. I don't know if I said hi to you earlier. What I heard about face characters are they're going to be in character for real. They're not going to take away from the experience. They're not going to be wearing masks, but they're going to be far enough away from you that the social distancing will be fine for them. So you'll see Belle, you'll see Ariel, and all them without a mask on waving to you because it takes away from the story if they're wearing a mask. So expect that. Now, if you notice here with the dining, it says it right here, at restaurants, please sit at a table without a card. So if you see a card, that's not where you sit. You sit where there's not a card. I like that.
I like that too, but I think they could have done something a little better. And that's, I went to the mall today because it's open here. They have certain things that are open in the food court itself. There's missing tables. They're not even there available to sit at. So they have them spaced out already. I wish they would have kind of done something like that. I understand it's a problem maybe with storage or space, but there's going to be people now, obviously in Shanghai, they're not going to, but there's going to be people that don't follow the rules. And I really wish they would have just removed the tables as opposed to leaving the cards on.
Gotcha. Well, I'm okay with it. You're right. I'm assuming they're going to have people, by the way, Carlos Disney World Freak, welcome in, buddy.
Carlos.
I'm assuming that they're going to have people walking around making sure that this is enforced. I'm hoping they do this. I don't think it's just going to be, we'll trust that you're not going to sit there. Because I agree with you. You know there's going to be people that are sitting at that table. Even though there's a card that says, don't sit here, they're going to sit here.
Well, and so you got your table here. Theoretically, every other table around you has to be blocked off, which means in a square layout, grid layout, 4 tables, the table in front of you, behind you, and the 2 on the sides are all blocked out. And if they're not in square, that means whatever's in a circle. If they were to remove them, they could just space them out 6 feet and get a lot more people, a lot more tables, and a lot more space in there, as opposed to just blocking off an entire section. Because now you have the walkway plus the table plus the walkway on the other side. Now you're just spacing them way out where they only have to be X amount of space away from each other.
All right, and I get that, but I guess for me, I guess they're looking at this as a short-term thing. They don't expect to have to do this for forever. So they're not going to remove all those tables. They're just going to say, this is how we're going to do it until things get back to normal. That's how I'm taking it. Meg, Mickey's Magic, welcome in. Meg, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. But this part I paused because read this very carefully, everybody. I think that this is the one that to me is going to be the hardest to enforce. This is the one. It says, while in stores, please only touch merchandise you intend to purchase. There is no way.
Well, and I think they know that, but they got to say that so that they can, so people might actually some people might consciously think about it.
I hope so. And that's pretty much it. And then, if you do have a disposable mask, you can definitely dispose of it. But that was it. I love this video. I thought it was fantastic to watch. I'm glad that Disney came out with this for people. I think it really shows how they intend to move forward with it. Instead of now kind of speculating, now you see it. You kind of see it real time. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of that stuff, I know behind the scenes, we've read it. I sent you an article a while back, and some of the things that were going to happen for Disney World to open, and a lot of that was included in what we just saw. The other thing that was included was the fact that they're going to wipe down every vehicle, after every single ride, which is obviously going to delay lines. But we're also probably going to open in phases where we have a 50% capacity, and then we ramp up to a 75% capacity before we go to full capacity. So there's a lot of things that I think are in place that are going to be phenomenal. There's a few things that I think we need to do above and beyond what we just saw, but I have no problem with anything that they're trying to do to help prevent this to allow us to still come join the parks.
Agreed. Nothing on that video, although some of it I don't think will be implemented here.
I would agree.
Nothing on that video do I find to be invading my privacy, anything horrendously.
Yeah.
I mean, all of it to a point is kind of invading your privacy, but you
can either choose to do that or
don't
not go to Disney.
But let me play devil's advocate, because somebody talked about it earlier. Talked about not being safe with masks. Well, if they're not making us wear masks, you can choose not to go if you don't feel safe.
Exactly.
Okay, so that argument goes both ways.
Let me reiterate, because I've said it several times. The masks are not to protect you from other people.
Right. It's to protect.
They are to protect other people from you. They're to catch your droplets and things like that might contain something if you were to have it.
Right. So and if you have it, you shouldn't be there anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just a precautionary thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for your protection against other people. Right.
James says, I'm puzzled that masks are required, but that latex or rubber gloves are not, especially in stores. Well, here's the thing. Again, what they can make you do and what they can't make you do is going to be really interesting. People, look, the minute they say you have to wear a mask no matter where you go, what's the first thing you're going to hear? The ACLU.
Yep.
Okay. And people are going to come out and say it's against the Constitution. That's a whole nother stream. I don't want to get into that. But it has to be something that the people that work there, they're going to be wearing masks and they're going to be wearing gloves. Yep. Because you work for a company and the company says you're going to do it, you have to do it. It's their company.
Look, it's not an essential business.
Mm-mm.
It is a business that's basically, I understand it's a publicly traded company, but it doesn't follow the same rules. If they decide that you have to wear a mask to come in or have to wear gloves, then so be it. You have to do it. It's part of the shopping rules. It's like the whole no shirt, no shoes rule.
Mm-hmm.
Now in times like this, it's, if no mask, no gloves. I would be fine if they made you wear gloves and masks. I would be okay with it. We talked earlier that I think some of the masks could possibly cause some breathing hindrances during like roller coaster rides where they're blowing back into your mouth and your face. But,
mm-hmm.
But I'm okay with that. But for sure, I think I would be all for them making everybody wear gloves.
Right. They won't do that. They're not.
I know they won't.
It won't get to that point.
They won't, but I wouldn't have any problem with it whatsoever.
And Wendy Lou, who says surgical masks are only effective for about 5 to 10 minutes. Again, I don't know. But, and again, I don't want to get into what should or shouldn't be done. Mm-hmm. Again, I always say this. If you have, it's like anything else. Somebody said it the other day. They said, I'm not going until I feel safe.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then you have to define safe. That's too broad a term. That's general. Right. What's safe?
It is, but it's everyone's own level of safety.
Right. That's my point.
For me being safe, I could be fine with no mask, no gloves, whatever. And as soon as they open, I'm going to go.
That's my point, Steve. That's what I'm saying. You have to define safe, because what's safe for you may not be safe for me, or what's safe for me, and then you just prove my point. That's exactly right.
I think the statement's okay, though. It's just you got to add that last. I'm not going till it's safe for me.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But so when someone generalizes and says, I'm going when it's safe. Okay. Well, what is that for you? When there is no virus, when we hopefully have a vaccine, it's just such a general term.
Yep.
Mikey, welcome in, Mikey. Good to see you. Look, I totally understand that if people are trepidatious on, they don't want to go. I totally get it. If they don't feel safe, feel safe, because if you don't feel safe, you're not going to enjoy yourself.
Exactly.
That analysis.
Again, it's a leisure activity. It is not required. You don't have to go. Wait till you feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly. Wearing the same mask the entire visit is a waste of time. Once saturated with your breath droplets, they need changing. That's, again, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, my humble opinion, there is no perfect scenario here where you have zero chance of getting it. I don't think that's possible. It's nothing that we can come out with that's going to say, okay, you're 100% foolproof.
Well, and
there's a level.
Again, the masks are to protect other people from you, but so Costco here now makes you wear them. If you don't have them, they hand them to you. It says you cannot shop in our store without a mask. I'm okay with that. the first time I put the mask on, I touched my face 4 times. And normally I don't touch my face at all. So it's another one of those issues where some people they're great for, some people they're risking, it's actually hindering your ability, because as you touch stuff, then you're touching your face because you're trying to adjust that mask. You don't like it. Like Donna says right there, sometimes you're like in humid climates, it's going to stick to you and you're going to pull it. And it's just not they're helpful into some regards, but
they're not foolproof.
They're not foolproof at all.
No, not at all. And that's the only point I'm trying to make when I say define safe, because no matter what we put in place, there's going to be some level of non-foolproof. I don't know any other way to put it. But again, do what's comfortable to you. I don't want anybody being there if they're not comfortable. Nobody wants anybody there if they're going to catch it. Of course not.
And like James says, if you wear glasses, I've tried wearing them with my sunglasses numerous times. That is not going to happen. You will not be able to wear them with glasses because it goes right up and fogs everything up.
It fogs everything up. Yeah, if your hot breath going into your cold glasses because you're in air conditioning. Now, if you're outside, your glasses are warm anyway. It won't happen.
Or vice versa. If you were here today and it was 28 degrees on May 9th and it's ridiculous, your hot breath going up into the cold air was fogging everything up.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, exactly. So again, Shanghai, that's great news. Great news for them. They're moving forward. They're going to try it, and we'll see what happens there. I'm interested to watch the first day when they open on the 11th. I want to see how things go. From what I hear, Steve, they said that they sold out that day.
Oh yeah. Look, Disney World won't have any problem selling out.
No,
at 50% capacity.
No, 25.
Oh, they're only at 25% in Shanghai?
No, Disney World I thought was only 25.
Disney World's not at anything yet.
But when they are, I thought it was starting at 25.
I heard
maybe
50.
Maybe it is 50.
The article I read was 50, then 75.
You're right. You're exactly right. I'm sorry. I misread that. Yeah, you're right. But 50% of 80,000 capacity is 40,000.
Well, of each park. So,
right. Yeah. And again, we'll see. I'm interested to see how this is going to go down.
Here's what's going to happen, though. There's going to be a lot of rope dropping now because people are going to want to make sure that they get in.
You think so?
If you're going to be to take 50% capacity, I would say, again, we've talked about this before. There's a lot of, especially when it first opens again, you're going to be, a lot of people are going to want to go. And I think I would say on average, they're more than 50% capacity on any given day anyways.
Oh, yeah.
So those people that want to go are not going to be able to go. So you're going to be waiting in line early to make sure that you're one of those people that get in. Once you get in, you're not going to leave because when you do, you may not get into another park.
Well, here's how I see how they're going to do this. Magic of the Mouse TV, welcome in, by the way. I personally think, Steve, they're going to do what they did for Disneyland for Star Galaxy's Edge. You're going to have a reservation to go to Disney World. Maybe. That's how they're going to, because you're right. How do you limit the amount of people that are going to rope drop? And not only that, you can't. So if I have a reservation, or if you have a reservation and I don't, okay, I can't go.
Yep.
That's how you monitor the amount of people that can go. And then by that point, it doesn't matter who rope drops because I have first come doesn't first serve because it goes by reservation. That's what I think they're going to do. Yeah,
I see that to some degree, but at the same point in time, it's if you're not going to be in the park, it's not fair to somebody that could have been in the park. If you're taking your time and only going to go to the park for 4 hours during the day or something. So I can see that working, but I can also see it being a major issue and not being fair to those that could be there that want to be there all day just because somebody wants to go that's only going to be there for 4 hours. Again, that got a reservation.
100% agree with you, but no system is 100% foolproof.
I agree 100%.
You're going to have, no matter what system they come up with, there are people that are going to lose out.
Yep.
It might be me. You're right. Steve, you might want to go for 3 hours just to go before you go to work that evening, let's just say.
Yep.
I want to go for the whole day, but you got the reservation. I didn't.
Yep.
What am I going to do? It is what it is. There's no system. Again, same thing. Rope drop, they can't allow you to just come up to the gate. Because how do you social distance that?
So they did show that in Shanghai. You couldn't do that in Disney World because there's so many people, but they had the barricades snaking people back and forth. They could potentially do that, but not for 40,000 people.
Right. And that's my point. That's why you have to really monitor it by saying these are the amount of people that we're going to let in for the first few hours. or that might be what they do too. They may only say this reservations are from 8 to 12. The next reservations are from 12 to 4. The next ones are from 4 to 8. Who knows?
No matter what they do, if they do something like that, then they absolutely cannot charge people full price. And
I'm with you. I agree.
Here's something else that I think
you're an annual pass holder.
They could go, okay, we have X amount of pass holders, annual pass holders. Give a percentage of what they think is going to show up, and then sell the rest of the tickets at capacity for that alone, like in advanced 5-day tickets or whatever. So to get you to the capacity. Now, the negative of that is they don't know which park that capacity is going to be.
Right. Agreed. I have no idea what they're going to do, but we'll see. Now, moving on from Shanghai, talking about that, I want to end on a good note. So we'll go to what I consider the bad, but not really bad. But if you guys haven't heard, Disney is now not accepting reservations until July 1st. So no reservations until July 1st. Now,
and you can't book them either.
Right.
You can't start booking your reservations till July 1st.
Right, from what I've seen. And anybody in the chat, if I'm wrong about that, please let me know in the chat. Correct me. But that's what I've heard and that's what I've seen. So at this point, it doesn't look like we're looking at till a July reopening. But again, I've heard people to say, well, just because we can't get a reservation doesn't mean they'll open sooner. I don't understand that logic. If I can't stay there, then it can only be for locals. But maybe I'm wrong. What do you think about that, Steve? Well,
I think that's perfectly. There's so many local people that are going to go. That may be another measure of crowd control for a week or two. That they open it up to Florida residents first, which I've heard speculation of anyway. So, that's the case. I need to hurry up and pack up and get down to Florida. But I mean, other than that, yeah, I think they could open up to Florida residents very quick, or first and only first for like a month.
And here's the problem with that, though. Florida is a big state.
It is.
What if I'm coming from Miami and I want to go to Disney? I can't make a reservation. But that's Disney reservations. You could. What if there's a hotel outside of Disney? You could stay there.
No, so there's lots of hotels outside of Disney.
Lots of hotels outside of Disney. I still don't think, at this point, I said June 1st. I think mine's been blown out of the water. I think this now ultimately means that July 1st is when they're considering.
Yeah, and Jay, I've actually got 3 reservations, and I've already had 2 canceled. My next reservation is June 3rd. And James says if you have an existing reservation after June 5th, you don't have to cancel it yet. They have calculated a crowd control number. So
right. Well, they haven't yet have to cancel it.
Yeah,
James, those people might get a call tomorrow. They might get a call Monday.
Very true.
Say, by the way, because this news about the July 1st just dropped yesterday. And it didn't drop till 10:30 in the evening. That's when I found out, and I saw it, and I started seeing things posted.
Yeah, it's less than 24 hours old.
Right. So your point is well taken, James. But that being said, you might get a call Monday saying your trip has been canceled. So we'll see. I hope you're right. I'm hoping they open, but we'll see. We'll see. Kay Atwood says the maximum amount is set by the fire marshal. It has nothing to do with the time of year. Like if the fire marshal says it's 50K, then they can only do 25K. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. But remember, Disney has their own, again, Steve, correct me if I say this wrong, their own government in a lot of ways. That's what Reedy Creek is. Look up Reedy Creek. They have their own police department. They have their own fire department.
They do, but that fire department is still responsible for the fire, for exactly what you just said.
Absolutely.
It's still a fire marshal decision. It's just their own company's fire marshal.
Right. But what I'm saying is like they have their own. They don't get outside police. They have their own police.
Yep.
They have their own fire department. That's what Reedy Creek is. But we'll see. Donna says you shouldn't have a problem, Mike, because you have a medical reason, and I've only spotted inflammation of the world. Talking about, I got you. Yes, their own government. Right, that's what I thought, Avery. Right, it's called Reedy Creek. Yeah, Improvement District. That's what they do. So a lot of things Disney can surpass and do themselves without government approval because they have their own. Interesting. I guess that's what happens when you have power.
Yep.
And they have a lot of pull in Florida for sure. They have so many people. It's ridiculous. Magic in the Mouse says Disney World will be a tough open with all their forms of transportation. Getting people moved around will be tough.
But I don't think they're going to open all forms of transportation either. I don't think the monorail will be open.
Right.
I think buses will, but based on there'll be X's on seats where you can't sit. But all that convenience stuff with the Skyliners and the monorails and things like that, I don't think they'll be open. If the Skyliner opens, it will be on a, hey, we've got to basically clean all this after every single person gets on it.
Mm-hmm. But they can do that. What they can do, and here's what I'll give you an example. I saw in a video, Adam the Woo, who I'm plugging his channel, very good channel, by the way. He went on Icon Park's The Wheel, the Eye, just the day before they shut everything down. He went in there, and after every single time someone came out, someone went in and wiped it all down. Every single time. It could be done. It's going to slow the process, but it could be done. It absolutely could.
It could be one of those things, though, where every single car has to come off to the handicap spot.
Yeah.
And then you have to, you're getting online after that, after they reconnect and join back on the line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. None of the transportation will be open when Disney Springs reopens. No, well, they don't need it. There's nowhere there because they don't need the buses and the boats to transport people because they're not transporting them to any of the resorts because they're all closed. Yep. So no, that makes perfect sense. And that kind of leads me into the next one. Steve, ultimately, I think now July 1st at the very earliest is when we're going to see an opening. I could be wrong. What do you think? Does this change?
I mean, I've been saying July 1st since the beginning of this thing because I think they'll be open in time for Independence Day. Mm-hmm. Maybe the weekend before that, the last weekend of June, I've said so they can get open for a weekend beforehand. But July 4th is on a Saturday this year. Mm-hmm. I really think they're going to be open for that just because there's going to be a lot of, pride in America. Now, I'm not saying it's the best decision. I just think that's when it's going to be. And it's been when I've thought it would be since day one.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, Atwood, you're right. Magic Kingdom capacity is 100,000. It absolutely is. They can put 100,000 people in Magic Kingdom. Yep. Very rarely do they hit it. They do hit it. Christmas time they hit it for sure. New Year's Eve they hit it for sure. But they 100,000 people, Steve.
But
can you imagine?
At 50% capacity, they are way over that every day.
Oh yeah, they're over 50,000 pretty much every day. I mean, you're probably looking at about 60 to 70 in those parks. Yep. I agree. But we'll see. And the water taxi between the West Side and Marketplace won't be in use either. No, I don't think so. But again, there's going to be such a limit on that. And we're going to get into Disney Springs in just a second. But see, I'm touching my face all the time. It's just habit.
Me too.
It's just habit. I mean, I'm doing this. I'm wiping my beard when I have it. It's such a hard habit to break when you do it all the time. Yes, Steve, I think you're going to be right at this point. I think it's ultimately going to do that. Hotel room count is 30,000 on property. Yes, I believe that. Yep. But we'll see. So the last part I want to talk about is, and this is the good. We've heard about this. I'm sure you guys all know it. Disney Springs is in a phased reopening starting May 20th. Now, this is an interesting one to talk about, Steve. You heard about this one, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What do you think about it so far?
So, look, here's what I think. We have been practicing some semblance of social distancing and staying at home and all this other stuff. But it's no different than going to Walmart with everybody going to Walmart practicing the same standards as it is every other thing. Just, again, no groups, no gatherings, anything like that. Everything needs to have a 6-foot line. Today, I went to the mall to pick up. I ordered some food because they were finally open again. I ordered some food, went to pick it up, walked in, just kind of look around to see what was going on. I don't know. There's like 150 shops and 50 something of them are open. But like all the shoe stores and all that kind of stuff are open. The lines were out. They're only letting like 10 to 15 people in each store. And then the lines are out the doors just waiting to get in. I could see something like that happening here. Every single business that's been open during this whole thing has had a capacity limit. Whatever percentage that capacity limit is, they've had a capacity limit. Even Walmart, Lowe's, all those people you got to stand outside and wait on. I don't think it's anything new that we're trying to open here. It's just at Disney that happens to be opening. So that's the good news of it. But I think every single business, or honestly in America, if they would follow the right standards, could be open, and we could be okay, as long as, again, you got somebody dedicated to cleaning carts and things like that, if there are some.
Hey,
you
Brian.
got people cleaning the registers and the countertops after every single person goes through. You have lines on the floor to separate everybody by 6 feet. Every other register is open, not every register, because you don't want to put people too close together. I mean, these are all standards that we've been doing through Walmart and all these other people that could be easily used across all businesses to let them reopen, as long as everybody adheres to the rules.
Right. So I'll say this. I'm down here in Florida. Florida reopened May 4th.
Yep.
Okay. And we all know why. I mean, like it or not, that they have down here. We went out to dinner last night for the first time since everything happened. Melissa and I went to Outback.
Yep.
They were open. Very nice. Everybody that came up to us was wearing a mask. Everybody that came up to us was wearing gloves. The tables were spaced perfectly. We had a wonderful experience. It was great. When we were done, I saw when this one couple got up and left, first thing they did, they went over, they wiped everything down, sanitized everything right away.
Yep.
That was it. The guy at the front, the host, he was a host. It wasn't a hostess, a host, had his mask on, had his gloves on. There was lines down on the ground that told us where to stand when we came up to him so that we weren't too close to him. They had the proper precautions in place. We had a wonderful dinner. We had our masks as well. Posted some stuff on Instagram. And then we went out. We walked around Icon Park for a little while. Again, some places were open. One place that was open there had a lot of people in it. But again, everybody was spaced really, really well. It was done really, really well. It can be done. I agree with you 100%, Steve. You have to do it. You have to ultimately do it.
And businesses that got shut down are striving to get back to work, and if they want to go back to work, they got to adhere to what the standards are. And I've got zero problem with it whatsoever. But I fully believe this country could be operational, complete across the board, with those guidelines in place.
I agree too, and I, not to get on a tangent, because I have them sometimes. I wish they would do that. I feel bad for those that aren't open.
Yep.
Because first off, because they're not allowed to open.
Yeah, that's true too.
There are ways to do it. You just got to come up with it. You got to be creative. You got to think a little bit. You got to take your time. Like movie theaters. Okay, put everybody in every other row. At least let them make some kind of money.
Exactly. And then the difference is you space your movies out an extra half hour apart from each other, and you go in, you sanitize and clean every single seat.
They got to go in and clean anyway. They clean all the stuff off the grounds from the people that leave
so they make these. You can get these kind of sprayers, these backpack sprayers that spray everything that don't make it soaking wet, but sanitize everything. And then they also make vacuum cleaner type things that would do the same thing. It would take a little extra time, but it could be done. Absolutely.
Thanks, Brian. I appreciate that. No, we had a great time. There's nothing. Again, the proper precautions are taken. I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting time we live in. I'll put it to you that way.
I mean, even people like haircutting and all that stuff could be open as well.
Wear your mask and wear your gloves.
Mask, gloves, and you're fine. I mean, it's all about self-responsibility as opposed to, oh no, the government's got to shut down. Look, the government did what they needed to do, and I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud that we took initiative to keep lives from passing because of what we did. Now, let's do it smart. Let's open it back up like it's supposed to be opened up. And if everybody wants to have a business, they got to adhere to the rules.
I agree 100%. Yes. I have, well, that's a whole nother story, but I agree. There are certain things that, first off, I'll put it to you this way. Whether you agree with it or not, if you don't have your people wear masks, if you don't have people wear gloves, it doesn't matter if you're open. Nobody's coming in.
Nope.
Because it's all up here. Because I'm not saying it's not true. It is true. I mean, there's a pandemic. Obviously, there's a virus. But people are going to not come into your restaurant because they're going to feel like you're not taking the proper precautions. Yep. So, Steve, you would be foolish not to.
Absolutely.
Because you're not going to make any money because nobody's going to come into your restaurant. Yep. I'm not even going to do it. And I have my own spiel on this whole thing. If I go into a restaurant and I don't see them wearing masks and all, we're going out to the other place.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, and it's, again, You want to be open, adhere to the rules. And people are like, oh, it's, some people don't feel weird wearing the mask or whatever, it hits their pride or something. It's on everybody. Everybody wears them. So don't just get over that. Go work, go earn a living for your family, and adhere to the rules. But yeah, like Tim said, I don't trust everybody's going to be responsible either.
No.
But it could be done if everybody, at least the majority of everybody, did what they were supposed to be doing. Now, if you go into Walmart and somebody's not listening, walk the other way. I mean, you don't have to. It's some of it's on you and some of it's on other people to do what they're supposed to be doing.
Right. Look, guys, right now the numbers are going up everywhere. Okay, it's a matter of slowing the number. Wendy says Scotland is still in total lockdown. The UK death toll is still rising because some people do not social distance. The death toll is rising everywhere, but that's a whole nother story. I don't want to get into that and numbers and things of that nature. But ultimately, we're doing proper precautions, and all we can do is move forward. At some point, look, I've said it a million times. There's a line in the sand when people are going to say, "I got to go back to work," and I think Steve's right. At this point, we're there. People are like, I got to go back to work. Okay, go back to work. Do this. You can go back to work. You'll be safer. Safer.
Again, you're not even totally safe inside your own house.
No, of course not. That's
right. So like you said, safer.
Yeah, safer. You're safer. You're not safe. You're safer than you would have been if you hadn't taken these precautions. So we'll see. That's exactly how I feel, Tim Pruitt. I was at UPS store that clearly said you need to wear your mask, and I was the only one besides the workers wearing one. I was so upset by that. Again, it depends on where I am. If I'm 6 feet apart, Steve, if I'm 6 feet apart from you, and I don't have my mask on, and you don't have your mask on, are we safe 6 feet apart? They say we are.
I mean, if you cough, it can spread up to 27 feet, but again, you're not safe 27 feet apart from each other. You're safer at different distances than you are anyway. But
so again, so we're talking about 6 feet. Why didn't we make it 27 feet? Why didn't we make it 28 feet? So
put your hands in your pockets and don't touch anybody.
Right, exactly. I mean, you could do that too.
And yes, how about them Dodgers? I can't wait to hear about the NFL's out. They got their schedule out now. The baseball should be having a plan here shortly as well.
I hope so. I hope they play ball. I really do. It will fall to security team to enforce expectations to remove those who don't comply. We'll see. We'll see how they do it. I agree 100%. Janice and Jean, welcome in. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Again, small store, very hard to stay 6 feet apart. Well, I get it. I get it. But
limited capacity.
Right. They need to limit capacity, Donna. That's what it is. I agree with you. If it's small like that, then they need to have somebody at the door that says, I'll give you an example real fast, Steve.
Yep.
We went on Monday. We went down to DMV. It's called the tax collector down here to change over our tags for our vehicles. They literally had somebody at the door and said, you can't come in. We are at capacity because it was small. And said, we will send you a text message when it's your turn to come in.
Yep.
It's that simple.
Very simple.
That simple. And if there's too many people in there, don't go in. I agree. I mean, you got to go in, but ultimately, I get it, Don. It was very hard to stay. But that's the thing. That's where UPS dropped the ball. They could have done like this place did, where they said, okay, you guys can't come in yet. We'll text you when it's your turn to come in. It's that simple. They can. Unfortunately, they don't do that. What's up, Richard? The R. John's Legends here. What's up, Richard? How you doing, buddy? No more greeting friends with hugs? That sucks. Well, that'll return. At some point, that will return, I'm sure. Wendy said you'd have to be coughed or sneezed on. Airborne droplets can travel 6 feet before landing on the ground, hence the 6 foot distance. All right. Gotcha. That makes sense. Went to Home Depot today, and that's what they have. A counter at the entrance and exit. One out, one in. Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
You know what? They're open. It may be a little bit inconvenienced.
Yeah.
But they are open.
Yeah, they're open. That's exactly right. And that's what they need to do. That's what they ultimately need to do. But I'll be interested, Steve, to see what happens with it. It's funny. They were talking the other day. If you had one ride to get on, Steve, Disney World reopens. Where are you going first?
Rise. I mean,
you going there first?
Oh my God. Not two reasons. Number one, it's the longest experience that you probably have on property other than like the Lion King show or something like that. But it's so good. If you want, it involves like 4 or 5 different ride technologies in that one ride. So, I don't know. I think it's really, really, really good.
Mm-hmm. I do. Well, for me, when they reopen, I want to go back to Magic Kingdom first because I just want to feel the Disney feel for me. Rise is going to be there. I'm going to get back to that. For me, I want to go back down Main Street. I want to see the castle again. That's kind of where I feel. But you're right. I mean, that's a great ride. That's fantastic. Surfer Girl 326, welcome in. Good to see you. I'll be interested to see, Steve, all the rides like Haunted Mansion, TTA, Peter Pan, pretty easy to social distance. Every other dune buggy, every other pirate ship, that shouldn't be too hard to do. And they, like you said, they may just have to it may have to go a little slower so they can sanitize it.
Yep. You
may have to wait a little longer, but with 50% capacity, I don't think that'll be too hard to do. And here's the other thing, folks, just because it's 50% capacity, I don't think they're going to hit the 50% capacity. I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but first off, you don't have anybody coming in from overseas.
Yep.
Anybody. And that's a huge number of people at Walt Disney World. So I don't think you're going to see very many of them at all. Well, you're not going to see any. What's up, Pete? Pete McDevitt's here. Good to see you, buddy. I'm not going on tower. No way. So that's the first thing. You're not seeing anybody from overseas. Secondly, there's going to be a lot of people that aren't coming from the States. First of all, because they probably may not be able to afford it now if they've been out of work. And secondly, a lot of people aren't going to come because they probably don't feel as safe as they want to feel. So that's going to knock a lot of people out too. And then even locals, you're going to have tons of local Florida people that are going to be the same way. Either A, they can't afford to go now, or B, don't feel safe. So I personally would be surprised if they hit 50% capacity, which is 50,000 people at Magic Kingdom. I don't even see them hitting 50% of that, in my opinion.
It would be it'd be difficult for sure. I look. Mm-hmm. People, you're going to have your diehard people that are just, I got to get there. I got to be there. Mm-hmm. But you're going to have those people that just aren't going to feel safe and they're just not going to want to go. Mm-hmm. And I don't blame them one bit.
Oh, absolutely not. No, we said it earlier. If you don't feel safe, you're not going to enjoy yourself. And you pay too much money to go to these parks and not enjoy yourself. So I agree 100%. But I don't know what Disney can do to make you feel 100% safe. Even if they make everybody wear a mask and make everybody wear gloves, are you still 100% safe? No, you're not.
Nope.
You're not. It's going to make you feel better, but maybe that's all that we need. But again, we'll see what happens. But I don't think they're going to hit capacity, Steve. I don't. But whatever they tell me to do, I'm going to do it.
I think they'll hit 50% capacity. I do think they'll hit 50.
You think they'll hit 50,000? I don't.
Again, you're talking about 50% in each one of them. Not all the other parks don't hold 100,000 people.
No, they don't. It depends on the park.
I mean, I don't know
I think it's like 70 at Animal Kingdom, 70 or 60 at Hollywood Studios, and I don't even think Epcot's opening personally.
I hope you. I kind of agree, but I hope you're wrong.
I hope I'm wrong too.
I hope I'm wrong too. So
I agree. Will Disney provide masks? I think they will. If they require them, they have to provide them. That's how I think anyway. That's my thought process. If you're telling me I have to have a mask to come into your park, then you need to provide me one. I could be wrong, but I think that's what they'll have them.
Yeah.
No, you will never feel 1,100% safe, but you at least need to feel like you are trying to be safe. Oh, yeah, well, exactly. And Tim, I think they are trying to be safe. I think they're taking the proper steps. They're not opening too early. They keep pushing it back. They're finding measures. I think they're doing what they need to do. And I think when they open, they're going to do everything that they feel possible to open. Is it going to be something we all want to do? Is it going to be a little inconvenient and suck, pardon my language, in some ways? Yes, it will. But we'll get past it. Disney is a different animal than the other theme park. If it opens, they will max out. I don't see it. I just don't. I don't see it. I agree with you. They are a different animal. But that being said, cost means everything to a lot of people, and safety trumps everything. I don't care who you are. If you don't feel safe, you ain't going. I don't see it. Well, Steve, if you weren't safe, if you didn't feel safe going to Disney, would you go?
If I went, I wouldn't be at Disney World. I would just be seeing friends and places I felt safe.
That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't go. If I didn't feel like I was safe, I'm not going. And I'm a big Disney fan. It's just that simple. But again, I don't know. But we'll see.
So
I think
here's something interesting. While we've been talking here, they just let me book a trip in July. I mean, like full-fledged booked everything.
Yep.
I tried to book one in June and it wouldn't let me.
No, right.
But it's letting me do it in July. Now, DVC will not let me book in July. But you can book a trip in Disney World right now.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't think I just don't. Well, reservations. Well, that's what they said. No reservations till July 1st. So that makes sense. I mean, it makes perfect sense.
And rooms were cheaper. The dining plan's cheaper. It was for me anyways. I selected over the July 4th holiday, and everything was cheaper.
Yeah. So Donna says, my issue isn't with the guidelines at all. It's with the people that won't follow the rules and the logistics of implementing the rules. Yep. I get that, Donna, but here's my I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second. Donna, everybody's following the rules. You get in the park, you're enjoying yourself. You get in the park, somebody takes off their mask and coughs. End of story. It's too late. Even if they take them out of the park, it's too late. He's already taken off his mask. He's already coughed. The damage is done. There is no foolproof 100% plan because, Donna, that's going to happen. That's how I see it. You're right. You're going to have that one person that comes into the park, looks like they're following the rules, and then he takes his mask off and sneezes or coughs or does whatever, and then it's too late. The damage is done. That's how. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not giving enough credit to people, but that's how I see it. So again, nothing's 100% foolproof. There's nothing they can do unless you have an armed guard standing next to you the whole time to make sure you don't take off your mask. There's no way around it. There's just no way around it. Or, okay, Steve, 6 feet apart. We even said 6 feet apart doesn't 100% guarantee that you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm sitting at a dining table. You're at your table. I'm at my table. My mask is off because I have to eat. Yep. I sneeze while I'm sitting there.
Yep.
You still feel safe?
Look.
That's my point is there's nothing.
I think to some degree, yes, I do.
To some degree, yes.
Because, again, it's all how comfortable you are in your own surroundings and everything.
Right.
Because if I'm sitting there and you sneeze, now if you don't cover your mouth into your elbow or whatever, like every time I sneeze, I always sneeze in my shirt. Regardless of whether this pandemic's going on or not, I always do this and I sneeze into my shirt. So just to help control whatever you can help control. People have diseases and germs that walk next to you every single day. This is different. I get it. This is different. But they walk next to you every single day and they cough and they sneeze and they touch things and everything else. That's how you get the flu. That's how you get the cold. That's how you get everything.
Right.
Now, I get this is a little more aggressive than the flu. It's a stronger form of a different flu. But
it's a strain of the flu, for sure.
It's a strain of the flu. It is. And it's just a more aggressive strain of the flu, but it's the same thing. If you're gonna get the flu, you're gonna get the flu. But at the same time, I walk by people that have the flu during the seasons and they'll sneeze and cough and everything else, and I may not get it at all.
Right.
It's how much contact you have with those people and how much contact you're having with the stuff that they're touching and all that. Now, if somebody sneezes on you, there's nothing you can do about that. They're going to sneeze on you. And unfortunately, there's nothing you do. If you're not comfortable with that, then it's not.
That's why I said that. That's why I said if you really feel like you're not safe, then it's probably not where you want to be right now because there's no foolproof plan. I'm sorry, there's just not. But I think I don't know. We'll see. Matt says, I think there are enough passionate Disney fans that they will go no matter what.
Yep.
People trust Disney. Doesn't mean it's completely safe at any point. No, it's not completely safe. It's not completely safe for you to go into Walmart. It's not completely safe for you to go to the Circle K and get gas. Guess what? When you pick up the gas tank to fill your gas, guess who touched 500 times before you got there?
Yep.
Are you wearing masks? Are you wearing gloves all the time? Some people are. That's great.
Well, right now, every time somebody
sanitizer,
touches that, I have a box of latex gloves, and I bought like 7 boxes of them. I'm strongly considering wearing gloves every time I pump gas now. At least one. I mean, there's 100 and something gloves in each box.
Mm-hmm.
That'll last me 2 years if I do it once a week for each box. You know, but you think about how many people do touch those gas pumps.
Mm-hmm. Every day. Every day.
Yeah, every day.
Who knows what they did before they touched that gas?
And if you don't have gloves, I keep a thing of disinfectant wipes in my car now.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just, I know it does not perfect, but it's something. It's something better than what you were doing before.
All right. But it's funny, until this happened, how many people actually wore gloves pumping gas?
Not me.
Not me. I didn't. I just pumped gas.
I saw somebody put in there that cultural differences do make a difference. And they are correct. Asian people have been wearing masks for a long time. Mm-hmm. But at the same token, we don't do that here typically. So typically speaking, I'm not going to wear a mask or gloves regardless. But I'm considering wearing gloves every time I pump gas now.
I'll just have hand sanitizer with me. Maybe I don't know what.
That's the thing, though. You can't touch your face or your eyes or anything
until you put the hand sanitizer on. Of course.
Until you put the hand sanitizer on.
Yeah, absolutely. No, agree, 100%. But it's an interesting time that we live in. I think Disney is taking the proper steps. I think Universal's taking the proper steps. SeaWorld, none of those places are open down here. None of them.
Yep.
Now, City Walk is set to open soon too. But you know the one thing we didn't talk about, Steve, real fast. I know Shep's going at 9:30. We might run a little bit over, but it's all third party that's opening right now down at Disney Springs on the 20th. It's not Disney stores.
Yeah.
So like Disney Style, World of Disney, they won't be open. STK Orlando is open. They've already released a menu and kind of some ideas of how they're going to be doing it. I don't know if somebody in the chat can tell me. I don't know who else is opening right now, but they're supposedly third party. But like Chicken Guy, is Chicken Guy considered third party or is he Disney owned? What about Wine Bar George? What about Boathouse? Are they all Disney owned and they're not going to open? I'm curious.
If you go online, because I know I did this with let's see here. I think they have a list of the things that are opening.
Okay. Oh, do they? Okay.
So.
Oh, I agree, Donna. Donna says, I can't believe it. I can't tell you how many times I've been to Disney restroom and seen people walk out without washing their hands. All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
For sure.
You can't control other people. You can only control you. Yeah, I don't know if Wine Bar George is open. Yeah, I'd be interested to see. People are gross. That's what I know. I don't trust anyone at Disney now. We were scared to be there in March. I don't think I'd want to relive that. I understand. Charlie, the Disney Nerd Herders, and Stacy, welcome in. Good to see you guys. Hope you're doing well. Thank you all for being here. Don't forget to hit that like button for us. We definitely appreciate it. But Steve, do they have a list of what's open? I don't think they do.
Hold up right now. So it says, here's what you need to know before you go. It does not have the list on here.
Yeah, I didn't think it did.
A limited number of shopping and dining experiences that are owned by a third-party operating participant will begin to open during this initial phase. The rest of Walt Disney World Resort will remain closed, including theme parks and hotels.
Right, exactly. And I don't know what's third party down in Disney. Like, Maria and Enzo's, right? The Edison.
Yeah.
Are those third party or are they Disney? They may not have anything going down there. It might be open, but not open. That makes sense.
Yep.
I believe the My Disney Experience app has a list so far it's going to be open, of what's going to be open maybe. I don't know. I'll have to check it out. Mike, to see what's going to be open. I am going to be down there on the 20th. I took a half a day, so I'm going to go down there and see what it's like, see what they do have open, see how the process works for everybody, and we'll be filming it to see what they're going to do. So it'll be interesting for sure. This is our Dream. Welcome in. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Is anyone on at 9?
So here's the restaurants that'll be opening.
Okay.
Find the list here real quick.
So I'm going to say hi to Andrea Houston, one of our members. Andrea, good to see you, dear. Go ahead.
Here's the restaurants that'll be opening on May 20th. Wine Bar George, STK Orlando, Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
Okay.
That's all that they put on there. These are ones that will definitely not be reopening on May 20th as of press time. Raglan Road will not be open. Chef Art Smith's Homecoming will not be open. Splitsville will not be open. And those are the only ones on the list. So you got 3 that you do know and 3 that you don't know. So
right. Yeah. And I'm sure I don't know how this is. I can't even predict what's going to happen with this. I have no idea if they're going to give us the list or if they're just going to say, come down and whatever's open is open. But we'll find out soon enough for sure. I'm interested to see. It's going to be an interesting time as we get closer and closer. But we'll see. But guys, that's our show. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Thank you for all the interaction in the chat. Lots of great information. Lots of great communication back and forth. Love it when you guys are this into the chat. I've got 37 people watching right now. Awesome. We got a lot of people. Let's talk about a few things later on. 9:30, Shep Family. Be sure to check them out. Somebody put Shep's link in there. I'd appreciate it. Shep goes live at 9:30. Also tonight at 11, YouTubers United over on Gonzo's channel. If someone could put Gonzo's link in the chat as well, I'd appreciate it. Gonzo does a great show. I was on with him earlier this week talking DVC. It was a lot of fun. Him and Mickey Bunch were there, and the Adventures of VP were there. And then tomorrow morning, for me, Steve, I'm going to be live with the Disney Nerd Herders. Melissa and I are going to be with Charlie and Stacy tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Be sure to check them out. That's going to be fun. What's coming up for you, buddy? Anything new coming up? Anything we need to know about?
Like we talked about at the beginning, that finally get to a place of tranquility, I guess I could say, and things are getting back to normal. One of the big things that I can do again is start to vlog. I'm really happy with my everything I got going on, my studio, and I got everything moved around the way I want it moved around. And then on Monday, I'm doing show and tell. So, yeah, there's that.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, on our end, Melissa and I just did a video this week on our bucket list Disney. If everybody gets a chance, go out and check that out. We put a lot into that. That was a lot of fun to do. I got a new video coming out probably tomorrow. I'm ranking all my Star Wars movies, Steve, now that all 11 are done. I'm ranking them all the way down. That's going to be a lot of fun. Got a lot of bells and whistles in that video. Be sure to check that out. Of course, I've been doing the daily Disney discussion. I hope everybody's been enjoying that. Been having a lot of people come out for that. So that's been fun. And then Disanity on Tuesday night is Ladies Night. Melissa's going to be hosting, and she's going to have 3 guests with her, and they're going to be talking Disney snacks and some other fun stuff. So be sure to check her out. Support her on Tuesday for sure. But other than that, I think that's everything for now. Steve, thanks, pal, again, as usual. I appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Oh, this has always been fun. Thank you, James, for that nice comment, buddy. I appreciate it. Yep.
Thank you to everybody. And don't forget, everybody, all the mothers, happy Mother's Day for tomorrow.
Absolutely. All the moms out there, thank you for what you do. You know, we're not here without you, and there's so many great moms out there, and tomorrow is your day.
Do you want to hint at all what we're doing next week?
Oh, yeah. I think
we can keep it a secret. I don't care.
No, you go ahead. You give the hint. It's going to be really fun next Saturday.
So you guys know how we do our whole Disney baseball, football teams, where we incorporate Disney characters into sports teams. We're going to do it into a movie next week.
We're going to recast a movie with Disney characters.
Recast a movie. I don't know if we want to tell them what. Do you want to tell what movie?
No. We're going to recast one of the biggest trilogies of all time. I'll put it to you that way. You'll be surprised, but we're going to recast it. We're going to have a special guest, at least one, maybe another, but I think just one. Special guest is confirmed, correct, Steve?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And we're going to recast a movie, a trilogy with Disney characters. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a great time with it. We may even have to break it up into a 2-parter, but we'll see.
Or 3-parter like the trilogy. But...
That's true. We might have to do that because there's a lot of characters in this trilogy for sure. But guys, that's everything for tonight. Thank you again for joining us, everybody. It's been a pleasure. Steve, as always, buddy, appreciate you. And and everybody in the chat, thank you so much. All of our members, thank you for being here. Thank you all for spending your time with us. It's a Saturday night. There's plenty of other things you could be doing. You choose to spend it with us, and that means the world to us. And thank you. And until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.